Greetings, metaphysicians. Today is episode 102, Unbreak Your Heart. This episode is all about that, how to unbreak your heart. How many of us have broken hearts out there, or heart walls, armor around our hearts, shields, boundaries? This episode is all about undoing that and how important it is, not only for ourselves, but for the entire world, for us to walk around with an open heart and unconditional love. Tune in and enjoy the episode.
You're listening to Let's Get Metaphysical. This podcast explores the spiritual and metaphysical world through the experiences and opinions of the host and those interviewed. It should not necessarily be seen as direct endorsement or personal advice to our listeners. We encourage you to use your own discernment, judgment, and intuition regarding anything you learn from this show.
Let's get meta.
Welcome to the Let's Get Metaphysical podcast. I am your host, Renata Maniaci, here to remind you that you are currently having a human incarnation here on lovely planet Earth. It's temporary, so make the most of it. This is episode 102, Unbreak Your Heart. And this is season 7, Heaven on Earth. And one of the ways to experience heaven on earth, as I have recently fully experienced myself, is having an open heart. I had an experience last week that helped to take off the armor around my heart that I've been experiencing my whole life, this whole lifetime. And I'm going to get into that more in a moment. But when that happened, I felt bliss. I felt so naturally high. I never wanted to stop feeling that way. And it all happened naturally. No substances, no plant medicine, nothing. And being like that, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping your own health, body, mind, soul, but you're helping those around you. When you can vibrate on that frequency, that is rippling out. And you're helping everyone around you. You can walk through the world with an open heart. So I want to tell you a little bit more about just how that happened for me and how we can all move forward and unbreak our hearts, making them whole again. So are you ready? Let's get meta. Masters and angels, I request your presence, your assistance, your guidance, your support, and your love through this episode. Please be with us, help us to expand our hearts. Please help us to eliminate any and all heart walls, shields, boundaries, barriers, limitations, etc. that we are ready to let go of now. Please allow this episode to reach whoever needs to hear it. Please help me to speak the truth, know the truth, be the truth, and become the truth. And please let everyone listening feel more inspired and enlightened and have their hearts open wide by the end of this episode. Thank you with gratitude and full faith. Bless creation. Yes, as you heard, we are talking about unbreaking our hearts. Why is this coming in today? This has been something that has been on my mind for, let's say, most of this incarnation for myself personally, and has come in a big way these last 6 months. But before we get into mixing in my story with this episode, this is a really important topic for the world where we're at right now. I don't know about you, but I can count on one hand how many people, how many humans I've met who I can feel that their hearts are fully opened. And I have not been one of them. Animals are an exception. Many of us have dogs, cats, pets, and we can feel their hearts wide open, especially with dogs. And that's one of the many reasons so many people choose to have animals. That love, whether we feel it or know it consciously or subconsciously, is a beautiful thing. That unconditional love. Many animals vibrate to that frequency of unconditional love. We are capable of this as humans. But for one reason or another, this lifetime or previous lifetimes, our poor little hearts, big hearts, accumulate different kinds of barriers in the form of shields, walls, armor, barriers, blockades, chains, ice, thought forms creating barriers, belief systems creating barriers, lived experiences creating barriers from this lifetime or past lifetimes. So many different things. And I'm not just talking about the front, I'm talking about the whole. The heart is a whole 360-degree entity. So you might feel it in one place or another too as I'm speaking. Maybe you're listening and you are one of those lucky people whose heart is fully open. Again, I've only known a handful of these people. And I've asked specifically one of them, how can you love so deeply? How can your heart be so open? Because I didn't get it. I didn't get it for myself. I knew it was possible. I just didn't understand. I kind of sometimes still don't understand how people do it. I'm getting it more and more. But looking around this world and seeing how we live life here, what our cultural norms are, what our expectations are for this life, how we grew up, how we are raising our own kids, different difficulties and barriers and just ways of being human affect our hearts. And so much of this is capable of us blocking and closing down or putting up walls or the like, because we feel like we're protecting our hearts or need to protect our hearts, or our hearts are trying to protect us. And in many cases, that is true. You think you're trying to protect your heart. It's actually your heart trying to protect you. And I've been privy to both, it feels like, in this lifetime. But I used to believe that whatever my heart walls were, and I've been aware of them since I was young, maybe not in a conscious way until my 20s, but there was always some kind of underlying knowing that there's something going on there and I don't feel as fully as I instinctively knew that I was capable of feeling in the heart area and the love area. I'm not saying I was incapable of love. It's not like that. It's like you love, but there's a limit to it. It's not like what you read about in books or see in movies or even experience with sometimes your parents, sometimes friends' parents or friends, other kind of relationships you have in your life, including pets. Some people experience the most love in this lifetime with a pet in terms of depth of feeling. And that's probably because, as I said before, those animals vibrate to the frequency of unconditional love, which is actually a thing. It's actually a distinct thing. And you can get into it fairly easily. All of us can. It's actually not that difficult to enter unconditional love as a vibration. I often do it just through breathing deeply through my belly and intending to align myself with that vibration. In fact, I learned how to do this earlier this year because I was taking an animal communication course, and the instructor, who's been a guest on this podcast, Lynn Schuster, taught that that is what you have to do before you communicate with animals, because we have to get on their frequency, and their frequency is unconditional love. I mean, it's incredible how quickly you can get there if you just intend to. So it's not unreachable, even for those of us whose hearts are not, quote unquote, fully open. It's definitely doable, even without that. But going back, I always kind of accepted and understood that my heart wasn't fully open, that it was capable of loving more deeply, didn't know how to do it, had all kinds of ideas about why it was the way it was, situations from my childhood, early relationships in my youth, different things that have happened that I put on why I had shields up or why I couldn't feel more deeply into loving feelings, all this stuff. And maybe those things contributed a little bit. But this opening of the heart has been a conscious, intentional process for me for at least, I'm going to say, the last 10 years. A whole decade of consciously working on removing heart walls, armor, shields. And that's doing that intentionally. And even before that, understanding that there was something that I could work on in that area. And why am I bringing this up now? Well, it's come into my consciousness now for a variety of reasons. One is that the entire planet would just completely change in an instant if all of us could be in unconditional love. Even if we could all be in unconditional love for 5 minutes, the whole world would change. And you can see, it's almost more easy to see the lack of love sometimes. Just looking at anything, anyone, observing how we run this world, it's almost easier, unfortunately, to see a lack of love, a lack of unconditional love, a lack of leading with your heart. And if you're looking for it, it's easy to see when someone is leading with love, when something was accomplished with love, when you're ingesting food that was created with love. If you're aware of it, if you're attuned to that. So why this now? These last 6 months, I have been steadily, I don't know how to say it other than guided on these different steps, taking these different steps forward, which have all contributed to me removing or having my armor around my heart melt away. And believe it or not, I was told that this would happen on the first of the year. Many of you who've been listening for a while know that I get big downloads on the first of the year. I don't know why. It just comes in like that. I can pretty much ask anything of my guides, my angels, my soul, and receive pretty crystal clear answers. And I've been doing this for several years now. I always ask them, what is my word for the year? I don't know when I started that, maybe like 6 years ago. And they'll give me a word, really clear, one word that characterizes what this year is about for me. And this year, I was surprised to learn that my word of the year was love. I thought it was kind of funny, actually. And I asked them more about that. And it was clear that it was not love between myself and another person. It was more on the level of love between myself and my soul and love between myself and God. And I said, okay, what else do I need to know about this? And the download was that at some point this year, I would be able to more easily and effortlessly attain a vibration of unconditional love. And I was shocked by this, to be honest. I know that it's possible. I know it's possible for all of us. But this is something I've been working towards for a long time with, incremental success, but nothing drastic, nothing, monumental. I was still there. I've seen many people who have helped me along the way, particularly my own spiritual teacher, who specifically did as much as he could in one public session in front of hundreds of people and really helped me, especially the back aspect of my heart chakra. That's what I was asking about at that session. That was in 2017. But sometimes you can't have it healed completely right away. Sometimes you need to reach a certain level of consciousness, or you need to fully understand your lessons of why your heart's like the. Sometimes you need to understand where it came from, and those are all true in my case. All of those are true in my case. I told you for a long time, I put it on this lifetime. I thought it was X, Y, and Z from, all the time before I was 20. It's not accurate. And so when I got that message first of the year, I was excited and surprised that this could possibly be the year that the armor comes down. I used to call it a lot of things. It used to feel like there was an ice block around my heart, and every once in a while I'd feel little parts of it melting. Not the whole thing ever, just little parts of it. Oh, I feel my heart melting a little bit right now. Sometimes I felt it as armor, literally as armor. It's been described as heart walls by another guest that was on this podcast a couple years ago, Emmanuel, who does really beautiful heart wall removal work, and I had that done as well. So not just these last 6 months, this has been an incremental thing for the last few years, right? Last 10 years. But this message, this is going to happen this year. Wow, okay, cool. What do I have to do? And already since the first of the year, I've been led through several different steps, whether they're on my own, through meditation, through different things that my guides ask me to do, and through coming through external people suggesting certain things to me or practices that are going to get me to the next level that I need to be at before the next piece of armor could come off for the heart. So I've done a lot of work. Some of that work looked like individual sessions with people. Some of that work looked like I said, me alone, listening to my guidance, using certain meditations, journaling, having realizations. Sometimes I would meditate and see the same images from the same lifetime all through this year. And I've seen this lifetime before, but it turns out that lifetime I kept seeing these last 6 months is the reason, or the lifetime that this armor was installed around my heart. And that's why it kept coming up. And I did different things. I have done myofascial release therapy. I did an intensive of that earlier this year. May have mentioned that earlier. I continue to do the work with my spiritual community through processes, through events, through the spring tour that we just got finished doing. All of that is incredibly powerful. I continue to do my own practice. When it comes in, I continue to see other people when appropriate. So these different steps kept coming up, and each step cracked a little bit more of the code. And for me, a lot of it, a big part of it, was fully understanding and accessing this one lifetime that wasn't even on Earth. Earth adjacent, we can say, but not on Earth. And a few of these different sessions were able to allow me to fully access not only what I was seeing that happened in that lifetime. I always could kind of see what happened, but I never could access the emotions of it because I locked that away. And during an MFR session, I was finally able to access the emotions. And then after that happened, in a later session, I was able to start processing the different emotions. And in a later session that wasn't even MFR, it was different form of energy work from another friend that was helping me. I was able to go even deeper and move towards forgiving the people who had created a situation which caused me to close my heart. So it was this whole process, this whole beautiful unfolding. It involved first understanding where it came from, feeling all the emotions that were part of that situation, following my guidance to the next step, step by step. And this was the quickening these last 6 months, after 10 years of conscious work, step by step. And finally, last week, I had what I feel like was the entire armor coming off. Finally, after incrementally getting at it, I had to forgive, deeply and truly forgive the others involved. And one of the things that made that possible is because one of my friends who was helping me in one of these sessions was one of those people who in that lifetime did maybe a not so great thing and helped to contribute to me putting that shield up. And that is how the universe and the divine arranged it. They arranged it so that this person would incarnate to have their own lifetime here, but that we would meet up and that we would be friends in this lifetime enough so that I could forgive that person because I loved them in this lifetime, even though what they did in the previous lifetime wasn't so great. So all of this has been divinely orchestrated. Went through forgiveness. I went through forgiveness of myself after that, asked for forgiveness from God. And your mileage may vary. Your heart walls are not from the same story that mine is. But I'm sharing this with you for several reasons, I suppose. One is that I just experienced living my whole life without having full access to my heart and the power that comes with my heart, knowing that I didn't have full access to it and still working for it for a decade, and finally being at the place where that armor came down and I could feel my heart in the next room, 20 feet out on either side. I've never felt that before. I was so blissed out. Bliss. And I'm not somebody who feels bliss very easily until now. My friend who was in the room with me said, "This is what MDMA feels like." And I said, "Holy shit. Never tried MDMA, but I've heard about it, thought about it, because I thought, wow, it'd be really cool to have my heart open." Well, I'm here to say this all was attained by non-substances, no plants, no substances. This was all attained through various forms of processing, meditation, myofascial release, but really just sinking into my own body and my own soul. And if I can do it, you can do it. But that's one of the reasons I'm sharing this, is because even if you know that you have something and an issue that you want to work on it and it hasn't healed yet, don't give up. Sometimes this stuff takes a while, and that's okay. Sometimes it's supposed to take a while. Sometimes maybe you're like me and you say, oh, it's because of this. And then later you find out that's not it at all. It's not right. It's something that you could have never imagined. It's a lifetime you could have never imagined having, literally never imagined having. I wasn't even human in that lifetime. I saw something insane happen, and I put up that wall. But you can heal your own heart walls. You just got to do the work. You just got to listen and keep moving forward. Sometimes other people can help you. Oftentimes you can help yourself. Your guides and angels can help you. You can just start by asking, what do I need to know about this? And maybe you're one of the lucky ones out there. You're listening to me right now and you do have your heart fully open, and you know you do. But there's something else that you're working on. Might not be a heart wall thing or an armor thing or a shield thing. Your thing might be something else. But the story applies to that too. Maybe it's something you've been working on for a long time. Don't give up. Keep asking your guides, what else do I need to know about this? Show me what I need to know about it. Then give them space and time to show you, or tell you, or whisper it to you, or drop it into your mind so that you know what it is. And it might take time. It might take 70,000 steps. You know, it felt like mine took 70,000 steps. It probably didn't. It probably only took a couple hundred steps. But each step brought me closer and closer. And maybe, you know, I'm feeling into it now. Maybe I'm not fully, but you know what? I feel fully open. I feel very different than I've ever felt. I'm acclimated to it now. I should have probably done this episode the day after I did it. I don't know if I could have talked about it. I was too blissed out. I felt high, naturally high, for days until my body started reacclimating. I feel like I'm standing up straighter. I feel like I'm an inch taller than I have been, just because my back, the back of my heart, like it's like I'm not hunched over anymore. It feels straight, aligned, especially the front of my heart space, very big. It doesn't mean that I don't still have the regular feelings that I have within my ego and my personality. It doesn't mean that I'm responding with unconditional love and compassion to everybody I meet. But I have that available to me now. I have that access and I can feel it. more than I ever could before. I have that access. And you can too. And so let's all continue to work towards unbreaking our hearts, piecing them back together, taking down our walls, our shields, our armor, our chains, taking our hearts out of the darkness, out of shadow, shining light on our hearts. Why? Well, it's a beautiful thing to do for yourself and those who immediately surround you, like your family and friends, but that ripples out. Those people walking around with open hearts are doing more for the planet than they probably are even aware of. Their love ripples out and touches people and places and things, and they don't even realize it. Imagine what it would be like to have an open heart and consciously walk around and know the effect that you're having on people. So we can do this for ourselves, and altruistically, we can do it for the planet, and we need it right now. Just imagine for a moment, everybody walking around with open hearts. Everybody. We'd have to stop fucking up the planet. Excuse my language. Because you couldn't do it. We couldn't keep going the wrong directions with open hearts. I don't believe that. I don't believe you could. So do it for yourself. Do it for others. Do it for the world. And I have something that may help in this. I had my full moon clearing for my online angel donor community a few days ago for the full moon in June. And this is what came through. Honestly, I thought it was going to be about something else. And that something else is all about cleansing. And these next few episodes are all going to be about cleansing body, mind, and spirit. It's coming through very clear. But what came through a few days ago was beautiful clearing of the heart. Clearing heart walls and armor and emotions and trapped, just stuck things around the heart. That's what came through for the full moon clearing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that available to all angel donors on Patreon. So if you want access to that, all you have to do is become an angel donor of any tier at patreon.com/letsgetmeta, and you will have access to that. Now, I do tell my story a bit in that, but then we go through and we actually do clearing exercises. You'll feel things expanding around your heart. You'll feel your heart expanding. You will feel various things falling away just by listening to this. I was doing it live, so there were people live, and they were giving me feedback about what they were feeling while we were doing it. I could feel it, and you just listen. That's all you have to do. So that is my bonus content for today's episode. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. Let me just tune in for a second, see if anything else is coming through on that note. My guides are just saying, this is important. This is important. Opening our hearts is really important right now. And maybe there's never been a more difficult time to do it. And maybe that's why if you can do it, it's going to count the most. And I can just feel, I know that many of you listening are already working on this. I can feel it. Many of you are already working on this. Keep going. If you don't want to listen into the bonus content, no problem. Ask your guides what you need to know. What's the next step towards me opening my heart? You can ask that and then listen. And you'll find the way. Don't give up. It may take one try. You might be lucky that way. It may take 10 years. But you'll do it. And you'll help the world. I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you so much for listening. Stay positive, stay safe, keep your heart open, and stay meta.
The Let's Get Metaphysical podcast is an Up and Awaken production and is produced and hosted by Renata Maniaci. Our intention is to raise the vibration of the planet by sharing, validating, and normalizing spiritual and metaphysical experiences. If you are ready to raise your vibration, you might enjoy our free Let's Get Meta Master Clearing. To receive the Master Clearing or to learn more about the podcast, visit letsgetmeta.com. We like to share metaphysical stories and answer spiritual questions on the podcast. If you have a metaphysical experience you would like to share or have a spiritual question you would like to have answered, please send an email to info@letsgetmeta.com. The Let's Get Meta podcast is inspired by angels and supported by angels. If you would like to be an angel donor to the podcast, visit patreon.com/letsgetmeta. Thank you for listening. Stay meta.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.